This week we have major updates in the AI vibe coding world. Why does this matter to you? Well, quite simply because vibe coding is a big part of the future of making money online and making money with simple codes, tools, and the whole 9 yards. And this news Alina found for us, which is kind of a doozy. This is a big one, and they're actually implementing it in Gemini. So, Alina, tell us what's going on here and how it affects us.
So hi everyone. Basically, big tech keeps competing for best AI coding tools. Right now, as you know, I'm using Claude and Marcus here is using Gemini. So that's like the
kind of duke it out. Yeah.
Yes, on the race. But recently, Google somewhat bought, not completely, but somewhat bought Windsurf and announced that they plan to integrate it into their Gemini. And Windsurf is a really good coder, AI coder, that was usually used like a separate application. But I feel like if it's implemented in Gemini, it will give you much more power than it has now, which is interesting.
I wonder if they're going to, I was looking at the user interface, and you were saying that it looks a lot like Visual Studio, which Visual Studio is based on Visual Basic, which is the old programming from like back in the day.
Yeah, so the main thing here is that it can analyze several files at the same time and suggest you and fix bugs or mistakes in your code and suggest you the continuation of the code. And it's very good at it.
And it's actually creating the directory, which means theoretically, if I had a keyboard, that might help. So let's get the keyboard and we will show you how this works. There we go. Okay. We're back. We can program stuff, but we can't remember the tools we need to program them. So now we have this here, and I want to see if I copy and paste this, if it'll actually take me to, it does. So it's actually building the plugin, the file, the tool locally, which I like, because with most AI tools, we're like, oh, let me download this. Okay, where did it go? This is kind of like you're a programmer, but not.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that they bought not actually the company, they just hired the CEO and developers from that company.
Got it. Okay, so they have the CEO and developers of the company, and they're saying they're going to implement it in Gemini. What I would envision, knowing what I know about Google, they will probably make a desktop version, I would think, unless it's in their Google apps. It might be
probably apps. I would bet it's going to be an app.
I kind of like this better. I would rather have a downloadable that makes files on my computer. Theirs will probably be like a hybrid where it's making files on your Google Drive, which I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm not a big fan of everything in the cloud. I like to have it local and be like, there it is. So that's kind of interesting. So AI tools are big. The biggest change is happening behind the scenes with coding. So let's go back into like who's controlling what. In this programming world, it's a $1 trillion play. I mean, programming makes so much money if you understand what these programs and tools are made for, which is what we talk about here on this channel. So let's kind of go through, like, as a vibe coder, I know you like the Claude. I like Gemini, which actually I found some news from Anthropic today where they're letting you host. Apparently we need some pants. They're letting you host. Apparently we just got to get some pants. Apparently. But they're letting you host and share Claude-powered AI apps, much like the Gemini, or it was a ChatGPT store, which we had some students that did really well with that. I had some that did really well. I don't know how they're doing now. I should probably check on them. But now, do we need everything? Like, I get by with just Gemini and some Claude.
Yeah, I think it's a choice. It's a choice of what are you comfortable working with and how do you want to be completely independent and use an Meta open source AI, or do you want to rely on some of other companies because they provide like a better or easier service for like no coders? So that's the question. So we have the biggest players. It's like OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, Meta, that's mostly building open source AIs, and Anthropic.
I actually, now that I see how this works, as a WordPress programmer who makes plugins and stuff, I think I might start using it.
Yeah, it's easier because like where Gemini right now has the weak point is exactly this several files analyzing,
Yes.
which Windsurf does.
Yeah, I mean, this is really cool. And it's doing the whole thing right there. Which now I would just go there, right click, zip, boom, I got a plugin. And I could probably even, one of the things I like about this is it's going to go back and edit those files as I change. Whereas Gemini, Claude, all of these, it does do that. So what I'm doing now, and you tell me what you think of this because you're a vibe coder, you know this world. What I do now is I develop in Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT. I have cPanel open, and I'll actually make the plugin folder, upload the files, test it, change them back and forth locally one by one till I get it the way I want. And then when I'm done, have it the way I want, branded everything, I'll right-click, zip it on cPanel, and then download it as a plugin.
Yes, pretty much. All three of them work like this. I think ChatGPT can give you now the option to download this, but totally
Yes.
Claude and Gemini work like this, so you need to copy files or export each file separately.
Yes, and I mean, I kind of like both because the problem with having it local is you're going to have to upload it every time to test. However, having it local like this, I mean, I could just click here, be like, oh, change the .js, boom, change it back and forth. That could work, and using a browser could work as well. Maybe that's where they're going to head with the Google implementation of this. But I think that's pretty cool. I think that's definitely something to use if you struggle with multiple files, if you struggle with organization.
Yeah, and pretty much what's happening is AI lets us build bigger and more complicated applications because if it can communicate between the files and see all this like connections and mistakes between the files, it means you can build bigger.
And I think it's going to be interesting because we are eventually going to get to the place where cPanel is going to have an AI and it'll just make what you want.
Yeah, it already looks like this because when you put the code in the cPanel, it already analyzes it for mistakes, at least the obvious one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's definitely, I think this is a skill to learn if you want to make money. I mean, you're going to get left behind if you don't know it.
Totally. Okay, so we discussed that Gemini might get ahead of Claude if they actually implement it right now. So, and then let's compare the legality of them too, because this is the part where most people don't pay attention to it right now because it's not in the picture. But basically when you build inside of these tools, you kind of agree to their legal terms as well as their rights on the content. Do you own it or not really?
Yeah.
So pretty much right now they're both on the same level where you can share what you make, except Claude put limitations for some sensitive fields like medical and legal. And
that's smart.
Yeah.
Because I think like with HIPAA violations, with medical stuff, if you're getting sensitive data, passing it, I mean, for me, I wouldn't use AI for anything beyond like basic email, name, basic stuff. Like I'm not going to, I don't want anything crazy because you don't know what it's going to do or how it's passing it. So I like that Claude has that. It's kind of a fail safe where it's like, hey, are you sure you want to include this or we won't make this, which would be interesting. Emphasizes safety and enterprise clarity, whereas Google is like, okay, we'll generate whatever you want, but you're on your
responsible.
own.
Yes, yeah. Gemini is a little bit different. If something goes wrong, it's your responsibility because you created this. They don't bear responsibility for this.
It's the classic political response of Google, which is like, we don't have any responsibilities at all.
And so it limits commercial use as well if you're on paid enterprise plan, which basically means that this iteration when you pay for APIs, right, and you have like too many people, or they change prices of APIs.
Now, would the enterprise be considered the one that I do for $250 a month?
Probably not.
So
but it's like a gray area. We never know unless you like study it really precisely.
It is, because I mean, like until they start watermarking, which I did notice Gemini started watermarking their images.
Yeah, they do. They totally do. I think there's something like this, or they will totally start doing it. So that's the issue.
Yeah, like every 46th letter is Google or something. It's like, okay, there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. So when you vibe coding and plan to sell it, you got to pay attention to this and like study all these legal terms and limitations that it gives.
Also, side note, I did find out running the AI tools the way we do, when people generate images, it is far more expensive than text. Now, far more, we're talking, 20 cents instead of 0.00002 cents.
Yeah, but still, if you have like a lot of people using it, it's probably going to be costly.
And so far, with all of our tools, with all the people using it, over a month, what do you think we spent in API so far?
So it's a Gemini API, right?
Yep. And we got a lot of people using the tools.
20?
20? $10.80.
Okay,
There we
twice
go.
less.
So not bad. So yeah, it's definitely usable. Obviously protect your codes and stuff, because if someone else uses it, hey, that's you on the hook for that. But yeah, that's a good thing to understand is, okay, now I can make these tools. It would be interesting to see if this would allow you to use the API and which...
It probably would.
Yeah, and which API it's actually using, or do you get to specify?
So, and the other option is using OpenAI models when you download them fully on your computer and run them locally. So that's like the safest option when you don't depend on anyone else. But it's also like you need to understand more, study more, and learn how to run them. Also have a pretty good tech to actually do that probably most of the times.
Exactly. And that was like the video we did with the Claude robot where you installed it locally. I found that was not as good.
Yeah, because it was the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
And plus we were trying to use it as an agent. So that's a little bit different. I think agents are better now in this.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And we definitely need to get some agent videos out.
Yes, maybe Gemini, because Gemini feels like a good agent actually.
Yeah, and I do want to do N8N.
What is this?
Some like workflow where you attach everything.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much look out for this and maybe learn how it works before you want to commercialize this. That's like a best advice there. Maybe stay away from some dangerous industries like law and health.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a professional and can be responsible for what you do.
Well, and always disclose that it's using AI.
Yes, that's totally it.
I was toying with the idea of making an API-based site map help you find content. So I was thinking, okay, people who want to watch my old videos that are no longer up, they can go to my site, tell the AI what they're struggling with. It'll use my site map plus its API intelligence to find links that they would want.
That's actually such a good idea.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where we're going. Like everything pretty much gonna run through AI
Yes.
and be automated in this way.
Well, it's kind of like how each site has its own search engine. Like you go to Wikipedia, you can search. You go to Travelocity, you search. You go to Google, you search. You go here, you search. And you're kind of looking for things where now it's going to get more smart search. And it's going to get into the crazy world of, based on the last 5 things you did, here is this. So it's going to be an interesting area.
Yes, and it's changing rapidly.
Yeah, and knowing the codes I think is key, because you could low-key implement stuff that's super helpful using a tool like Windsurf where, like this, I could probably program something like Expedia.
Yeah, you can probably start with Gemini too, but then get files here and make it more useful and more complicated. Fix the bugs that you usually fix in Gemini.
And I like that it tells you. Like, it's got the little elephant. I like that. I'm big on icons. I'm like, okay, the elephant is the PHP. There he is. Then we have, this is styling it. This is JavaScript. So, like, if you wanted to learn programming, mess around with this for a couple weeks.
For sure.
I wonder if, if I had a folder already with code, I could probably just bring it up in here.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that, because then I could just do, like, file open. Let's do open file.
Do you want to open file or open folder? Is it several files or one?
I think it's a zip. So let's see what happens if we do this, and we'll just get like this here. Open anyway. Whoa. Okay, so it kind of.
I think because it's zipped.
Probably, yeah. Let's do open folder. I think I got a folder in here. Downloads. I know I got something in here. Let's see. Bulk upload. Here we go. So like this one. Yes, I trust the authors. Do you know the difference between these?
No, but try Cascade.
Okay, so Cascade. Oh, it's doing it automatically anyway. So plan mode, all conversation. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, the zip one doesn't open.
Yeah, so we could actually, oh, that's the zip one. Okay, so we just trash that. Delete, move. Cool. So it's like its own little desktop for AI programming. I like that. I like that a lot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, that's definitely key. If Google implements this, I think it's going to be really good. I hope they make a downloadable and a cloud version. Because I mean, how do you feel about this? You do a lot of our plugins and tools and stuff.
Yeah, it's always safer to have something locally, so it's a good thing. And I'm just genuinely excited, like how exactly they're gonna implement it, and then compare them after. Because right now, yes, I do like cloud more because I don't know, it just provides better logic for my tastes.
You know what I like about this? So years ago when I first started computer stuff, I remember one of our family friends was like a full-on programmer, and I didn't know nothing. I was making money doing good, but I didn't know anything. And we had this simple little program we used, and he was like, oh, that works on this folder. So if you change the stuff in this folder, that program that's hard-coded, everything will work with whatever you have as your templates, not the ones it came with. And to me, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited I could change it. Same thing here, where I could start with a folder with my logo, template, like an HTML page, and be like, we are going to use this format for everything. And maybe even have like a TXT file with, here's my website, here's my name, contact, the normal stuff you would have on a plugin, where I don't have to go in and do that every time. That would save me a ton. Because I know when Andy, our programmer, makes WordPress plugins, drives me up the wall, they're always branded with his name. And it's not intentional or malicious. His program is set to him. So having the ability to have like, oh, hey, here is the catch-all, everything I make needs to be branded this way. I think that's kind of cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
What do you think about these small ones like Lovable and Bolt?
I haven't used them in probably 2 months.
Do you think most people are going to switch to these big tech companies?
Yes. I think, unfortunately, the way it's going to go is Google is going to be cheaper, faster, until it knocks everyone out, and then it'll be outrageously expensive. Like Netflix, it's like, oh, it's literally 1 penny to watch a movie. Now that everyone has Netflix, it's $400 a minute. You know.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have backup on the OpenAI model that you run locally.
Well, and I like small efforts. I appreciate what Lovable and Bolt is doing. I appreciate that they're away from this big tech, run everything.
Yes.
You know, it's more down home, I guess you'd call it. But with this, it is helpful. I think Lovable and the others could use a book from the playbook of like make a downloadable tool, because that is something as a programmer, having it automatically make all the files and folders, no matter, even when me not asking, is good, because I spend half of the time going in Gemini and looking for stuff I created.
No, that's actually why they're convenient, because they offer you, they make the project with all files in for you already, and you can implement them on their platforms as usually. So I guess it's a separation that goes like this, like Windsurf, and I think Copilot and something else was originally created to run locally on your computer, whereas this like Bolt and Lovable platforms that we started with are running on the internet and supposed to be for people who don't want to deal with local files on the computer.
Got it. Yeah, and also one that's really good for this is Manus, but it's very mistake oriented. Like I make a plugin and it's completely useless until you work with it.
Which is weird because they promised to be like the best, right?
They lied. Yeah. I mean, it's a great product. You just have to, like all the AI tools, you need to know what you want exactly.
It's interesting that it has all these models here you can choose from.
And it's interesting that it's charging you.
Yeah, it's charging you. So it uses APIs from these tools to run them inside it.
Yeah, so they're basically a platform. What would it be called? Not a platform, like a console. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's cool. I mean, it works. It's good. It keeps all your local stuff. I would think, yeah, this is something I'm going to use, definitely. So yeah, going through there, building with that, learn lightweight dev skills, I think is key. Like learn how to do it. And this will show you, like going through here and having it explain, hey, this is what that means. Hey, let's go down here, see what it means. I also find that this is a lot more like friendly. Scrolling in Gemini and stuff is just a pain.
Yeah, and looking for the files. It's going to be easier here for sure.
Let's see, so plugins. Okay, so these are plugins that you can add to this. Okay, so Google, Subpads. Yeah, so all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, all the platforms.
Cool. So going through there, yeah, I think big companies controlling things. Eventually, I mean, everything leads towards a monopoly. It's just the way it is. But that's not to say there's not little gaps. I think right now there's a lot of little gaps for people like you and me to just go out there and build things that are helpful and works. I was just watching a guy who made an AI drink app that literally looks like you're drinking on your phone, and it's completely useless other than, a gag.
Yeah.
Dude making like a lot of money with it. And it's like, okay, well,
Sometimes useless things just go viral for no reason.
Yeah, like I have a video game, gambling video game. It's not real, it's just, play. But you could actually buy credits. I'm like, why would I buy credits in a fake game? It just makes sense to me. But at any rate, understanding, there are things that we can create if we think different and use AI and be fast.
Yeah, right now when it's all changing.
Yes, be fast. Learn how to do this stuff fast. So thanks for watching. Definitely check this out. Check us out at AIProfitScoop.com. We got notes from this, copy of this video, and all kinds of tools to help you get started making money with AI and all kinds of programming tools.
See you in the next one.